Nanak story. One day, suddenly Nanak was missing. He was just gone. He was not at the shop, he was not in the house, he was nowhere to be found. All the family members got worried. Where is Nanak? Where is Nanak? It's been so long, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Nanak is gone. Where is Nanak? They could not find him. And they started asking in the village, did you see Nanak? Did you see Nanak? Did you see Nanak? So one person said, oh, few 5, 6 hours ago I was still working in the farm and I saw him walk towards the graveyard. Okay, why did he go towards the graveyard? A graveyard was always situated right outside the village. Yeah, and this person's farm was the last farm in that village at the end. So they all went to the graveyard and they found Nanak sitting there. So everybody is like, what are you doing here? So he said, he was a young boy, very young boy. He said, today I figured it out that in the end we all have to come here. He said, yes, that is right. We all have to come here in the end. So he said, then why wait for that day for 4 people to carry me on their shoulders? I come here now only. He was so shaken by the knowledge of death that it got him into a very meditative state, and he spent 4 to 5 hours in a graveyard. Just being there. He said, what is the point of going back home? So they said, come on, that is family, that is home, that is where we all live. So he said, all the people who live in that house, aren't they going to come here finally? So yes, they are going to come here finally. Everybody come here now. If we have to come here now, this is home. How is that home? That is not home. That is just a roof to save you from the sun and to save you from the rain. He was so clear as a very young, he was a very young child when this happened, like a teenager almost. At that age, he had this clarity. That is not home. This is home. Question for you. Are you ready to go home?
Yes.
Not Houston home. Which home am I talking about? The real home. Are you ready to go? Are you prepared? Have you really prepared the will? Or will you keep thinking at the last minute, oh, I didn't write the will? Finish it off. Take it as a task, a homework that I have to write that will. Yeah? Finish all those things that need to be completed. Finish them. Don't leave anything pending. Be ready to go home. Anytime hukum aa sakta hai. Anytime the command can come. Are you ready for that hukum? The last hukum? If not, become ready. High time. Become ready to go. Yeah? It's easier to go when you're ready. When you're mentally, physically and everically prepared. Yeah? If you're not prepared, you will not have acceptance for the last hukum. And you will have to come back again. You have to have that complete acceptance for the last hukum. Complete readiness. Yeah? Ready to embrace that last hukum. Become ready right now.
There are the people around us. What's last?
It was your karma. You had to go through a life with those people around. The next lifetime will be a next batch of people. What you are going to keep thinking of all these batches of people for n number of lifetimes? Drop their karma. They will think about their thing. I focus on my journey. Do I have that connection with hukum? And am I ready to accept that last hukum? Willingly, voluntarily. If there is something stopping you, now only finish all your things that you need to do. Your will, your sorries and your thank yous and your last hugs. Finish all of them. One last hug, one last kiss, one last whatever. Finish your last. This is last. This is how people in the ancient times went into sannyas. So the real way of implementing sannyas was from vanaprastha only, means from the age of 50 to 75 only. They are preparing their things to say bye-bye. You take care of your shop and you take care of the house and this is yours and now I'm moving on. And it took them 25 years to mentally prepare to let go of everything. The last bye was said at 75 and they moved into sannyas. Sannyas didn't mean I'm coming back home every now and then to have your delicious food. Sannyas means sannyas. I am already dead. Yeah, but was that age where people lived 100 plus years. Right? That was those days. Now you have to divide accordingly. 20 years. Not even that much. 18 years maybe. Yeah. So most of us have started Vanaprastha, should have started Vanaprastha by now. So be ready, get ready to say your Tata bye-bye. Time is coming to an end. Some of us are in sannyas ashram already. So get ready, bas, enough. You be in the sansara for the last few years facing the jungle. I am ready. Yeah? Whenever hukum comes, I am willingly going, happily. And this needs to be conveyed to the family members because at the last minute, when the last hukum comes, you are happy and everybody's at bang. You don't have the time. No, seriously. Yeah, Indian people to start.
Yeah.
So you have to educate them that okay, last minute you are not doing this bamboo, you do it now. Yeah, last minute put on Kathopanishad for me. Yeah, last minute revise Bhagavad Gita shlokas for me. You don't do all this nonsense in front of me. Happily let me go. Graciously exit from this body. When you graciously exit without any attachments, you will not carry your karma back. When you exit with this big struggling and gasping and dying for one breath, you are carrying your whole karma back with you. Drop this gasping, dying, feverishly wanting life, wanting to be with attachments. They're just attachments. Yeah? Done. Be done with them if you're not done. Finish. Finito. Yeah? So whatever is required, do it now. This is your chance. And then devote the rest of your life only to your own spiritual growth. My own spiritual progress. Yes, I will do everything that is required to take care of family, children, this, that, but I will always know that I am ready to go. Because nobody knows when the hukum comes, the last hukum.
So something today, like today's business meditation was very powerful for me. And in that business, someone on this side started crying. And somehow I thought it was Amrita. But I was in such a nice zone and I had this flash. What if I was dying right now? And she was crying. I still didn't feel like coming out of that.
Beautiful. This is the power of dispassion. Don't move from your center. This is called being centered. You don't let your spiritual ego go high. She praised me. Yeah? Being established in the center. Untouched, unmoved. Amrita is his wife, if you didn't know. Yeah? Being untouched, unmoved, unshakable. That is called being established in the isness. That's how you go. If you have to leave, you leave like that. The next Pauri, Guru Nanak Dev challenged everything. Na? He challenged Tirath also. What is Tirath? Pilgrimage. Why do you go to pilgrimage?
Like,
To meet God. Sure, debit credit of sins.
Yeah, all my sins will get washed if I go to pilgrimage. That is the common understanding. You understand that, right? How, first of all, though, Bichari Ganga ji has not created any sins of yours and she has to wash away your sins. I don't get this logic in it. So I'm sure Nanak also was like this. Where is the logic in this? How are you going to Ganga and taking, whatever, a cleansing bath there, and it cleanses your sins and you come out new? People now also they go to Gangaji and they give one attachment away.
Yeah, maybe some
It's a ritual. You give away attachment. What did you give? What did
No,
you?
I said mustard plant. The least like him to me.
Yes, the least. Karela, I don't like Karela. Leave Karela. That's how they leave it and come. Okay, but I know somebody who came and told me, this year I went to Haridwar, no, I gave up mangoes. But this Alfonso mango smell is killing me now. That is not the way. It's not about giving up the physical object. What is it? Yeah, that attachment in my mind. That attachment in my mind to that. This is not clear on me. Everything has come to the object. It doesn't register anymore that it's about my attachment which is internal. It's got nothing to do with an object outside. Are you understanding this? That's why Guru Nanak Dev Ji challenged this Tirath Wala Pratha also.
Don't they say that Ganga carries the vibrations of all the sages who meditated on the banks?
Yeah, but you're still not going to wash your sins away. The people who live in Haridwar, who take a bath in Ganga every day, they should have been enlightened by now. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. How much ever those good vibrations, those good vibrations will just help you become a little quiet. That's it, and meditate better and probably establish in the isness. How is it going to wash your sins away? Wake up. Very, very clear? तीरथ नावा जेतिस भावा
तीरथ नावा जेतिस भावा
बिन भाने के नाई करी
बिन भाने के नाई करी
जेति सीरत उपाई विख्या
जेति सीरत उपाई विख्या
बिन कर्मा के मिलै नहीं
बिन कर्मा के मिलै लई
मत विच रतन जवाहर मानिक
मत विच रतन जवाहर मानिक
जे एक गुर की सिख सुनी
जे एक गुर की सिख सुनी
गुरा एक दई बुझाई
गुर एक दे बुझाई
सबना जिया का एक दाता
सबना जिया का एक दाता
सो मैं बिसर न जाई
सो मैं बिसर न जाई
तीरथ नावा जेतिस बावा Means it will be like a pilgrimage bath for me if he finds me adorable. Now, what's the point of really going to Tirath and taking all these cleansing baths? He's saying, only if he finds me adorable, if I am doing the right thing, if I can easily go into meditation and be in that isness, be established in him, in his surati, then of course he loves me, he finds me adorable. That is why I can again and again and again get established in that isness. Yeah? If I can see that Malik in everyone, that Sahib in everyone, and I can serve everyone, then he finds me adorable. That is the meaning of finding me adorable. Vin bhane ke nai kari means without him adoring me. What is the meaning of that cleansing bath? Nai kari, you understand nai, no? Nahana in Hindi. What is the point of your pilgrimage bath or shower if he doesn't find you adorable or pleasing? So how to become adorable and pleasing to him now?
Being in this.
Seeing the right thing. In
What is the
everyone
right
Seeing the Malik in everyone.
Okay. And so,
Meditating, going into that.
yes, but the main thing that will help you meditate, go into yourself, be in the isness and see the isness in everyone. Where does it begin? So ego dropping means doership dropping. Because we're talking about pap and punya here. No? What washes away? Pap washes away. The sins wash away with the pilgrimage bath. This is our belief. So we are addressing pap and punya here, correct? So what is pap?
Of karma, that if you claim that you did the
Doership. So doership is equal to pap. And non-doership is equal to punya. Very clear? A dharmic person is a person who's always established in non-doership, that I am not doing this. Everything is hukum. Hukum. Everything is hukum. He's established in non-doership. And an adharmic person who's not dharmic, adharmic,
Everything is doers.
yeah. He says, I am doing, I am creating, I am doing this. Yeah. That is pap, where you feel I am doing. There is no surrender, there is no samarpan. Yeah. Such a person is attached to people, situations and things. He's holding on tight. Yeah. That is why he's adharmic. Yeah. You see now how this knowledge has become polluted down the ages? Yeah, just because we got lost in this people and things, especially things have increased so much. Yeah. In olden days, we used to have this thing, oh, if I buy one new dress and put it in my wardrobe, there is an old dress that I remove and give to a poor person. Do you do that anymore? Look at your closets. From a single, simple two-door cupboard, it's become a walk-in closet now. Yeah. When you buy one dress, do you give one to a poor man? Everything is lost. All those values are lost. So materialistic everything has become, that doership has become stronger. Yeah. It was easier when things were less, especially when technology was less. There was less things that you could run after. Yeah. Just clothes or shoes or a bag. It used to stop very easily. And you could really focus on the self, on meditation, on knowledge, on helping people. Now it's all about acquire this, attain this. Oh, you don't have this yet? Oh, purana phone abhi tak? You're still using the old phone. Look how these things go on. You don't have an Apple Watch. This creates feverishness. This creates doership. This has started more now. It was easier. The days I remember, it was so easy for people to come and do seva in the Gurdwara. Now, hardly anybody comes. You have to go and knock their doors, call them. Things have changed. Everything has changed. This knowledge has got polluted. Why? Doership. Only one disease we have. I am doing, I am doing, I am doing. I have to attain, I have to achieve, I have to gain. I have to become better than you. It's very subtle, but it is there in everybody. I have to be stronger than you, I have to be more powerful than you, I have to be more richer than you. So check, all this has come out from only one disease, doership. Can all be put under one umbrella of doership. Everything. Again and again, drop, it's hukum. You come back to the center. Good or bad, these are my labels. I have labeled them. I drop these labels, come back to hukum. Whatever you say is fine. Whatever has come my way, teri raza mein razi. I agree with your will. Whatever your will is, I'm fine with that. Teri raza mein razi. बहुत simple है life. We have complicated it. Yeah? Get out of this influence, external influence that is influencing you, and come back to that core. That core is still very pure, very innocent and very beautiful for each one of us. Yeah? And this you can't do after you are retired. Please don't push it there. Now is the time. Here. So drop this thing that I will go to a pilgrimage at the end of my life and wash away all my sins. Not happening. You please him. Let him find you pleasing and adorable. That's good enough. That is Tirath. Tirath Naya. You've had your pilgrimage bath. जीती सीरत उपाई वेखा बिन कर्मा के मिले नहीं. All the creation that I see around me, what could they receive without karma?
Can you repeat that?
All the creation that I see around me, what could they have ever received without the law of karma? So whatever is coming my way is coming only because of my karma. I unnecessarily am jumping and screaming and shouting and saying, I did it, I did it, I did it. Did I do it? It is all coming by hukum from my past karma. Hukum has laid down that law that it will come to me at this time, at this age, in this form. How much ever I shout, no, I don't want in this form, I want in this form, will it change? If I say, no, I want it at this time and not at this time, will it change? No. This doership that I am doing is just creating more path. And I am not pleasing anymore to him. Yeah. So without pleasing God, what use are the rituals? Without pleasing God, what use is that satsang or that knowledge that you are doing? If you are not able to establish in the isness, all of it is doership. Are you getting it? Being established in the self, again and again taking that step back and becoming one. Only that can help me. Otherwise, everything else that I do is out of ego. Yeah, we do that in India. I'm going to go and feed the cow. I'm going to feed the cow, okay? This is real ghee ka roti. I'm going to feed the cow. 10 times we'll tell 10 neighbors. One roti you're going to give and you tell everybody about it. See what we do. I've done Satnarayan Puja, okay, come. You come, okay, I'm come. You have to come, okay. I'm giving everybody gifts after the puja. You see, that's what we are doing. Look at our rituals. What are they? There is no real surrender. There is no real samarpan. All this was challenged by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. All this fake thing was challenged 500 years ago and it still continues. Just think, it still continues. So strong is the power of ego, so strong is the power of doership. Drop this doership. See where it is going. It only brings dukkha. And that is why you're tired all the time. Have you noticed? You're never fresh. And you're tired all the time. Why are you tired? Have you wondered? Because you are trying to swim against the current all the time. You're not accepting small things in life. Why I got up late? Why I went to office late? You're fighting every moment of the day. Are you seeing this? Do you say it was hukum? I woke up late. Finish. Rest that thought. बहुत चालू है रे यार मैं तो innocently कुछ निकलता मेरे मुंह से It was hukum. I missed the train. Yeah. It was hukum that I had to missed going to that city for that wedding. Good no. अब नहीं करेंगे. Yeah. The whole family went. I woke up late. It was hukum. You keep tussling. Full day you're like tussling with God. Why this happened? Why this didn't happen? Silly things you're tussling with. Why my hair is standing like this and not standing like this? You are swimming against the current of the wind, being with what is. It's so simple. One day in the morning, nature's call did not get answered properly. Full day you're thinking, nature's call didn't get answered properly. Full day you're worrying about it. You're eating this pill and that tablet. Something is wrong. Arey, nothing is wrong. Relax. It happens. You're constantly fighting. Dekho, this is called sangharsh. Struggle. There is no true acceptance. Hukum. How is a little child? Does a child keep fighting with life? Go back. You were also like that. It's very easy. Complete acceptance moment to moment. It's okay that the body is not feeling fine. And it's fine. It's a machine. Yeah? It's okay if I miss the train. It's okay if the hair is not standing proper. Whatever is okay. It's okay. It's hukum. Are you getting this? Then this struggle, this fight with life will stop and you'll realize you go through the day so easily. You just breeze through the day. Then you are not tired. Do you get it? You are tired only because you're constantly fighting with life. Simple, hai na?
Like this, it's okay. I said, like, many times when me and Japji at one point, like, oh, this is not happening. I say, it's okay, fine. आज नहीं करोगे, fine. So, if I say that 3, 4, 5 times, or maybe 6 days or a week, then 7 days my ego comes up and says, yeah, it's okay.
Hopefully, you're not saying it's okay, I'm lazy, I'm not doing anything, I'm not going to work, it's okay. No, that is the wrong use of.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to recognize this fighting with events in life, moment to moment in life. you don't understand one thing I said, you start fighting in your head with yourself. Yeah? You went to sleep when I was talking. You start fighting with yourself. Oh, I missed what she said. Are you getting it? You're fighting. Moment to moment it is happening. Moment to moment. There is no let go. Are you understanding? Let go. That let go is hukum. Being with the flow. Like a leaf just flows with the water, whichever direction water is taking it. Does the leaf stand up? No, go down. Don't go up. Don't go right. Go left. Does the little leaf do that? No. It's quietly moving in the direction of the water. Can you become like that leaf? Then you are following hukum. It is that simple. Then doership does not arise. Start with these small things in life. Don't directly say I'm going to drop the doership of my job or taking care of my family. These are the big things in your life. Take care of the little things. Make it a practice in little things. Those will happen automatically. Yeah, because when we are little babies, we need to only handle that much what we can manage. Start with these little things. One little thing happens, your spectacles fall down and break. Full day you're thinking, my spectacles broke. This is $20, but you will keep thinking, $20, I have to go again here. I have to get them in. Full day you're struggling with life. The moment it breaks, it's hukum. Finished. Full stop. You do the action that's required whenever you can. After work, after you finished your office or home or whatever you're doing. Unnecessarily in the mind, battling with life. This is doership. This is also happening because I have a feeling I run the show. If I don't do, then how will it happen? Got it, man? Next, mat vich rakha, mat vich ratan jawahar manik, je ik gur ki sikh suni. Mat is your intellect, mat. So mat vich ratan jawahar, gems, jewels will be there in your intellect. It's just poetic. Then Je ik gur ki sikh suni. If you follow just one teaching of the Guru, just by following one teaching of the Guru, you will have jewels and gems in your intellect. Means you'll become wise. It's a poetic way of saying it.
Just by following or listening?
Following, of course. It's Sunni, though it is Sunnah, but it's not Sunnah the way you think. Sunnah is not hearing. It's really listening. Who is ready for the Guru? Who is the one who is ready for the Guru? Can you describe a person who is ready and ripe for the Guru?
One who is ready to follow.
One who is ready to follow. Who is ready to follow? Can you describe? Open-minded. Okay. And?
Sincere.
How do you become open-minded? What leads to that state where patra is turned the correct way?
When you surrender your ego.
When does that state happen?
When you let go.
Helplessness.
When you come to a point in life, I have run and I've run and it's going nowhere. It can happen before you meet the Guru in person, it can happen way years after. You still keep running even after meeting the Guru. You've not really met the Guru. You don't really need the Guru. When does really a Guru become the Guru? When you realize that I have run, and I cannot do it. I cannot do it anymore on my own. I completely surrender to you. Now you take over. That is the day you become a disciple and the Guru becomes the Guru really. People ask Guruji, when will you give me knowledge that Krishna gave Arjuna? So Guru says, no, always first you become Arjuna. What does he mean become Arjuna? Just by coming here and doing a few courses, you become Arjuna? That running inside you, that doership, I am doing, that needs to drop. That needs to automatically surrender. Boss, nahi hota mujhse. I cannot do this anymore. It's all you. You take over. Either God or Guru, whoever. Yeah, the day this ego surrenders, it happens only for a few minutes. Huh? It doesn't happen too long. It's very cheeky, very, very shallow. It happens for a little window of time where you surrender and feel, I cannot do this. I need you to help me here. Yes? Then you are ready for the Guru. Yeah? When the doership drops, you become ready for the Guru. So, question for you. Are you really ready yet? And who is not ready for the Guru now? Tell me. Who's still running? Who's still thinking, I am going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm getting there. I will get there.
Who's still not fed up?
Yeah, who's still not fed up of the samsara. Do you get it? Who still relishes in the samsara. He's not ready for the Guru yet. It's a very big thing to bear God. God is too powerful. You will not be able to bear Him at the point of enlightenment. Yeah? So they give you a mini God in the form of Guru. That first you bear that energy. Once you are a patra of bearing that energy slowly helps you expand your capacity to hold. And then you can really bear God. बहुत बड़ी चीज है, बहुत बड़ी चीज है भगवान को पाना. छोटी मोटी बात नहीं है. भगवान, it's that supreme energy. सह नहीं पाओगे तुम. You won't be able to bear Him. He's so powerful.
Arjuna saying, no, give me my original form.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have.
Arjuna could not take it when Krishna showed his form. Yeah? It's overwhelming for this little mind and intellect to be able to take that kind of an energy. It's unbearable. So, a Guru helps us increase our capacity little by little, so I can really bear that moment when it happens. And once you meet God, Guruji's job is done.
So in one sense, this becomes the one and only qualification.
This is the one and only qualification. Samarpan of the ego. Complete Samarpan. You heard about Bodhidharma? He had a very small following. Yeah? Why he had a small following? He didn't want to teach Aam Admi, the mango people. He said, no, I don't have so much time. I'm only going to teach those few people who are very ripe. But how am I going to figure this out? Who's come to me, is ripe, is earnest, is sincere, new person coming in. So Bodhidharma's technique was, He is to stand facing the wall. How many people can survive such a master? He is to answer questions facing the wall. And if anybody said, why do you do this? Why are you not looking at me and answering my question? He would say, anyway, talking to you is the same as talking to this wall. Not many people who, the insincere people, of course, they left. They couldn't take that kind of energy. But Huike, Huike, Huike was his successor. And when he came to Bodhidharma, he said, you turn around and answer my question, otherwise I will cut my head right now here and offer it in your feet. I am so thirsty for this knowledge that it's either this knowledge or death. Bodhidharma found his successor. He turned around. And he gave that knowledge to Huike. And that's how that knowledge came down. There is a tradition of masters that is very strict. And in India also we've had such masters, right? Yeah. Very strict, very strict. Aam Admi, Janta generally for the sake of curiosity are all out. Only people with that thirst can come. Just by one teaching you can get there. One teaching is sufficient. Have you imbibed even one teaching till today? Write that teaching down.
Didi, you said that the Guru can only show you the path, the rest is self-effort on our part. I'm finding that the line between doership and self-effort is very thin. How do I stop self-effort from becoming doership? Is it by surrendering at every step and by surati?
Absolutely. That is the self-effort. No, that's surrendering. That is the self-effort that you have to do. Are you getting it? There is no other self-effort. The self-effort is of surrendering the ego. The self-effort is of recognizing, oh, this is doership, and my doership is up again like a snake. That is the self-effort you have to do, just of recognition. Are you getting it? Don't get stuck in language. Understand what it is. You're getting stuck in words. Don't be an intellectual philosopher. If you really are listening to me from the heart, you will understand that self-effort is only in recognizing my ego is up like this snake and I have to surrender, samarpan, I have to do of this ego. This surrendering itself requires self-effort. This ego is the one that is stuck in doership. I do this, like a big snake. It is all over, sitting on your treasure, your big house, your family. It is sitting on top of that treasure and saying, I do this. The effort is in putting down this snake. Got it? After that, it's effortless. First thing you will have to do is do samarpan. Without samarpan, it is not possible. To do samarpan itself is an effort for somebody who is so lost in this samsara. Are you getting it? Is it easy, guys? You tell me. 2.5 days, have you done samarpan? It's an effort. Are you recognizing this? It's not very easy. Yeah. So that is the only effort you have to do, the samarpan of that ego. First of all, to do samarpan, I have to recognize it exists, no? If I don't recognize it exists, will I call it a snake? I will not be able to identify only that this snake is out to bite me only. Very clear? Did your spiritual ego let you write it down? So you're seeing you have a spiritual ego now. I gave you the hint also.
I wrote all the things.
So it's like a big 5-headed, 10-headed cobra.
And I realized in every sentence I put I.
You did?
Yes.
See, are you recognizing your spiritual ego now? See, this is effort. I need an effort to recognize this ego. Otherwise, how will I surrender that which I don't recognize? Clear now? Now put that also back into that bag. I imbibe this teaching, I imbibe that teaching, I have become this, I have seen this.
But you asked what did you learn? This is a trick.
Trick question tha. I gave you a hint. Didn't I? I said also, see if your spiritual ego lets you write it down. You were like all happy, yeah, go gaga writing away.
It's good that we put it down.
Yeah, this is the spiritual ego. Yes, there's just not the material world ego I have, the samsaric ego, but I have this one which I have developed on the path since I started the path. Yeah, that also becomes my obstruction. That also I put in that bag. Let's see your bags. How big are they? Good.
Ego of full bags.
Ego of full bags. Ego of surrendering the ego. Recognize there is this yoga maya catching up. Where I say, oh, I have imbibed this teaching, this teaching, this teaching, this teaching. Yeah? Guru Nanak Dev Sahib says, one teaching if you had really imbibed, you would have reached there. Are you enlightened? All those people who wrote down? And especially the people who wrote down a long list. He says, ik.
Those who know won't tell. Those who tell don't know.
Cashwood was imbibed. Like, as in you really have accomplished that one feature. Consistently try to see that.
Yes, not just one day in your entire spiritual life. That's what the next line is. Gura ekdai vijai. Only one teaching of the Guru will solve this puzzle. If even one teaching of the Guru you had imbibed, the puzzle would have been solved by now. And the next line is Sabna jiya ka ek data, so main bisar na jaye. There is only one data, one giver. May I never forget that. Only one teaching of his would have been sufficient. Only one teaching. But I have not been able to imbibe that also. Have this humility to see this. Socrates said, I know that I know very, very little. This is the true sign of one who has known it all. He has understood it is so big, it is unknowable. It is unknowable by my little intellect, by my little mind. So I, who is saying this I, and that I have really reached there, I have understood one teaching. Really look, who is this I saying this? Who was the I that went and wrote those down? Ego. You getting it? Just one piece is there. Any one teaching brings the whole puzzle together. any one teaching of the Guru. Completely imbibed, completely soaked in it, becoming one with it, day and night, constantly in that one teaching. That would have been sufficient. Something small like I'm not the doer, I'm not the experiencer. That should have been sufficient. Ashtavakra 4 should have been sufficient for you. There's no need to do so many n number of innumerable knowledge sessions. Now we don't even have a number to put on it. Just chapter number 4 of Ashtavakra was sufficient. So see, something inside is missing. Something is missing. Never get into this spiritual ego. Yes, I have imbibed all the knowledge. Always remember, I know very little or nothing. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Drop this thing, I know is the biggest disease on this path. You all have all encountered it, the symptoms here and there. Yeah. And it's punched you hard. It always does. Sabna jiya ka ekta, so main visar na jaye. May I always stay so humble, so soft inside that I remember there is just one Data. When I am soft inside, I will not get into doership. When I'm very hard inside and stiff and I have to do everything, then I forget that Data. Then he's not there, he's disappeared. Right? Then you just remember him that day when Dukkha knocks on your door again. Knock, 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 finish. Oh God, help me. That day God comes back. Constant remembrance of God. Surati. That is the solution. Nanak gave us that right in the beginning. That is the biggest solution he has given. Remembering him. You call it Surati, you call it Hukum, or you call this Ekta. Whichever works for you. Always remind yourself. And who are you reminding?
Ego.
Ego. It's the ego that forgets. I'm reminding him. He starts becoming softer. Again he forgets. He raises his hood, becomes all stiff. Again I remind him. Again he becomes softer. I have to reduce his power. And only I can do it. Can somebody else from outside help me? Only I am responsible for this ego and its big snake head. Some of us don't have a single snake head, we have multiple. What was that snake called? Sheshnag. Sheshnag. And 10 heads. You have Sheshnag inside you. The 10-headed cobra. Recognize it. Any way you find which works for you, start softening, softening, softening. It doesn't matter. Let people take advantage. There also, you take yours, yours, yours. Take. What will you take? And there's nothing I'm holding on to. When somebody is not holding on to something, no, उनको लेने में मजा नहीं आता. You getting what I'm saying? When you're not holding on to something, no, the person who wants to grab it from you does not enjoy grabbing it from you because you're not holding on to it.
There's no tug of war.
There's no tug of war. Yeah? Don't give them that joy. So take yours, take. Then that, I don't want it.
This is like in office, someone wants, you got promotion, you get party, okay, take. Good, यार अभी तो बोल रहा है नहीं लेते.
हाँ, ऐसे होता ही है. Happens so many times. Yeah? The more you are grabbing, they want to pull it away from you. Have you noticed this? It is this ego against that ego really. It is not this self against that self. These two egos are fighting with each other. You surrender this ego only. I quit the game. Now play alone. Play. How much will you dance? Keep dancing. Keep dancing. You're dancing alone. You're fighting alone. Or you have a ghost in front of you. You're dancing and fighting. You're silly. The person will realize he or she is silly. Anyway, that's none of your business whether he realizes or not. Yeah? You just take care of your side. I maintain my softness. Ekdam clear hai? Yes, very, very clear. Can you take this up with that one person who's trying to play tug of war with you? Write it down as a reminder. I have to do it with person, whatever the name. I quit the game. You play alone. Or you fight alone. Depends whether they are playing a game or fighting a war. Somebody asked a very wise man, what are the signs of a true saint? So the wise man said, a true saint is extraordinary. Means very, 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 very ordinary. You understand? Absolutely ordinary. He doesn't have that ego also that you have. He doesn't have that doership that you have. Very, 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 very ordinary. Completely surrendered. Everything is hukum. Everything is hukum. Can you be like that? Absolutely ordinary. Drop that I. Yeah. All the time, remind this big ego which wants to be extraordinary, that you have to be extraordinary. Get it? And there's only way, one way. What is that one way? Surrender and surati, remembering that one thing. Sabna jiya ka ek data. So main visarna jai. Take this teaching back home. This is the most important. Let me not forget him. Let me not forget him. Let me always remember. Come what may. And one word of caution I'll give you on the path. That will happen to everybody. Yeah? And it is in Rabindranath Tagore's poem. Yeah? He has a very beautiful poem. That I searched, I looked. I went to find God here, I went there. I went to temples and churches and to the Gurdwara and to the masjid. I looked and every book, every scripture. I went to this wise man, I went to that wise man. I couldn't stop but look. One fine day, I found God's home. There were lots of steps going up to his house. I started walking up, slowly, tiptoeing, waiting for God, longing for Him, wanting to see Him, wondering what I would do when I would see Him. And I kept going up the steps, thinking, longing, waiting, wondering, creating this story in the mind and that story in the mind. And when I finally came to the door, a fear came up. The fear, what will I do once I become one with God? What lies ahead? That fear engulfed me. I decided not to knock, not to go in. But what if he opens the door? So I removed my footwear and started tiptoeing down. And I ran away from there. Many times I cross God's home. I know He lives there. But my fear does not let me go up those steps again. I know God's home. It's mine too. And I will be there. But something is stopping me now. This fear will come up. This fear of the unknown. The fear that I cannot see ahead. That is your last, biggest ego. Yeah? It's that super anaconda that has suddenly taken birth from your little snake. And that anaconda will be a big, big wall, glass wall between you and enlightenment. Your own fear of the unknown. Are you ready to face it? Start now. It's very easy if right now you surrender to the hukum. Now, not tomorrow, not when I retire, not when I have so much money and so many houses, not after I've achieved this, but now. सब बिना जिया का एक दाता, सो मैं विसर न जाए. Stop Japji here.